Can you move on to the next slide? The next. Yeah. So, as far as the cultural identity of Chennai or Tamil Nadu is concerned, it is a very old civilization. I mean, some of them are recently said that it is older than the Rigvedic period. That I don't know. I don't know if that has been corroborated by any finding. But definitely there are people who say that the Tamil civilization is very old, much older than the Harappan civilization. Then politically, it is unique as compared to other states because it is built on the ideology of social justice. So started by E.V. Periyar. So that is the legacy of the Tamil Nadu politicians. When we say rational ideology of social justice, we are talking about a more inclusive society, a society that doesn't leave anybody behind, which is what even today Tamil Nadu proudly proclaims. That it's a very, in fact, I don't know if it is the most advanced state, but that much I can tell you, it's among the frontline states which have not treated a lot of ideology as old, or what should I say? The ideology itself is based on rational thinking and social justice. So any political party that comes to power in Tamil Nadu, whether it is the DMK or the AIDMK, they have to follow the basic protocol of rational behavior and social justice. This has to be done by any party that comes to power. So in this paper, we will be analyzing the politics and the factors which influence politics and the culture and the factors that influence culture. Interestingly, in Tamil Nadu, culture and politics are not divided into strict compartments. Tamil Nadu's culture also overlaps the politics of the state. Next. Can we have the next slide? Yeah. Though it is a multi-party democracy, though many parties function in Tamil Nadu, it is basically a two-party or a bi-party system. The DMK and the AIADMK, both of which can trace their roots to the Dravidian ideology, they are the parties which rule by terms. Either it is the DMK, even if there is an alliance, this is the major party with smaller party alliances, or the AIADMK, which has similarly a political landscape which is very similar to that of DMK. There isn't much difference between the DMK and the AIADMK. Their ideologies also are more or less the same because they come from the same ideology. The mother ideology is that of Dravidian rational justice and social. So these two parties basically dominate Tamil Nadu, and the other parties align with them as a political force to win their vote. So you will find that every 5 years, not very strictly, we found that Jayalalitha, when she was a chief minister, she came back to power for the second time. But generally, there is a shift. That is, we find them forming governments in turn. Either it is the AIADMK. Yeah, the voice is very low. I agree. I don't know what to do.
Mythili, if you will be
nearer
the
volume, I'm just wondering.
If you can be closer to your phone or something.
Can you type it out? Because I'm finding it difficult to understand what you're saying. Okay. Continue with this. The smaller parties, they form coalition with the major party, which is either the DMK or the AIADMK. They follow. They lead the alliance, and they are fortified with the lesser alliance in
Mythili, it would be
alliance
better
parties.
if you can speak in Hindi also. I mean, I think our audience would be better. They can understand it better if you use
Again,
Hindi.
problem,
Hindi.
but it is mostly to do with the DMK and the AIA, both of which are the offshoots of the same ideology. Next. Hindi. My Hindi is not that fluent. I'll try, but since you have said that.
Yes.
The next thing, another aspect of Tamil Nadu politics is that caste plays a very important role. You remember I said some time ago that you can't strictly divide, you can't differentiate politics from culture here, because the politics is rooted in culture and the culture has some amount of politics.
Mythili, if Hindi, I think,
Huh?
please use a mixed language, Hindi also.
In Hindi.
Hindi also, yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
तो जो कास्ट बेस्ड पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज है तमिलनाडु में भी कास्ट प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जैसे और जगहों पे है वैसे इन साउथ इंडिया इन तमिलनाडु ऑल्सो कास्ट का जो है वो बहुत इट्स एन इम्पोर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द कल्चर. सो यू विल फाइंड दैट द पीएमके, द पाटाली मक्कल कच्छी, अलग पार्टी है लेकिन इट इज बेस्ड ऑन वन पर्टिकुलर कास्ट. तो कास्ट को डिफरेंशिएट नहीं कर सकते फ्रॉम द अदर एस्पेक्ट in Tamil Nadu because there is an interplay of both. The caste also plays an important role in the social, which is there in every state, in every city. Caste plays a very important role in determining the kind of candidates you put up, the kind of जैसे जो कैंडिडेट जिसको सेलेक्ट करते हैं फॉर electoral purposes, वो भी it's driven by caste. So it also perpetuates many practices about which we will talk a little later. It's more clear, कैसे? I am trying my best to get into it with Hindi also, if it's a problem for you. We will talk more about caste when we are talking about the cultural aspects of Tamil Nadu. The next road, please. The next card. Yeah. Tamil Nadu में there is one thing which is very prevalent. जिसको बहुत, you should say it's a very important aspect. Whether it is DMK or the AADM, the electorate of Tamil Nadu is very developed, very modern. So basic जो है, things like the targeted PDS and education, all these have to be determined by any party which comes to power. So as far as the electorate is concerned, it can be DMK in power or AIDMK in power, but they have to deliver on basic promises. जो जैसे I just told you, so जिसके साथ भी alliance इनका बना होता है, that's not an issue, but the minimum has to be delivered, whether it is the AIDMK led or DMK led for cultural alliance, for political alliance. Electorate is highly aware. The literacy rate also is good. So ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि तुम पावर में आगे हो लेकिन कुछ नहीं करते, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. The electorate demands that you do the minimum and deliver on your promise. Even though women form one half of the electorate, we find that the representation of women in politics is very good. Just say 12 women were elected in 2021. The previous general elections we are talking about. Very few women were voted to power. That's what the women's representation as such is not very great now. Maybe after the reservation bill comes into effect, it will improve. But as of now, the representation of women is very small. Next card. Of course, elections are very, very deeply influenced by money. Yahan pe it has become so common that whenever an election is declared, the electorate starts expecting money, expecting freebies to vote the power. So it gives a rise to what we call competitive populism. Competitive populism. Either one party, if it promises color TVs, the other party will promise laptop. It's like that. So before all these things become very significant before the elections. And all the political parties, there is no exception. All political parties offer money to people. Money for vote. So which is, which you may even take it as people are selling their vote. But money definitely plays a very, very important. Next slide. The most important thing which sets Tamil Nadu apart from other states is the influence of cinema and drama on the lives of people and on the politics of the state. M. Karunanidhi was associated with films. Our former chief ministers MGR, that is MG Ramachandran, and Jayalalitha, they also came from films. So how do films become so important? Because the people of Tamil Nadu have always respected the plays, street plays, and other forms of celebrations. They have not disassociated them from politicians. Politicians also play into their appetite. So there is a very good overlapping between religion and culture, between culture and politics. So MGR and Jayalalitha, of course, we know they came from films. There is now this actor Vijay, who has formed the latest party, and he is planning to contest the elections in 2026. So, but it's not as if all the actors who come from politics have succeeded. Vijay Kant was an actor who also had a political party. His party did only marginally well. He definitely didn't do well to affect the dynamics of power in this state. Because the popularity of films is carried forward by these politicians. They already have a fan base because of the films in which they are acting. And once they come into politics, they concentrate on building their constituency, of politics. But as I said, not all politicians have succeeded. Jayalalitha and MGR were the two important personalities who succeeded in politics. So the films, the actors, they build an image for themselves. एक image जो है वो अपना बनाते हैं, तो films में they start building it when they act in their films. जैसे आप देखोगे रजनीकांत के pictures. For a very long time, it was rumored that actor Rajnikant would enter the film. Would enter politics. He didn't enter politics eventually, but there was definitely a stage when he had started molding his script to suit his political ambition. So even as actors, ये अपना constituency जब build करते हैं, so they build their medium, they build their image through the films they act in. You will find that MGR has never acted in any film as a villain, because for many years he nurtured his role as a politician, and he cultivated the kind of image that is required for a good and successful politician. So as I said, South India was deeply influenced by drama folk arts, and theatre, which is why we find that a lot of people who acted in theatre and films have also made it into politics. Whether they have succeeded or not, it's too early to say. But definitely they all used their popularity in films to build a image for themselves in politics. Next. Next slide. So what is the basic ideology of the political parties and of cinema also? Because many actors, as I said, have built their image through cinema. So they have what is called the rational movement in consideration when they make their speeches, when they plan their elections, when they go for propagating during the elections. All that is influenced by what is known as the rationalism doctrine. Now, what is rationalism doctrine? Are all other doctrines irrational? It's not like that. It is based on the theory of social justice. Much before even the British times, during the independence movement itself, this rational movement started taking. E.V. Periyar, Ramaswamy Periyar, was one of the most important leaders who was instrumental in making Tamil Nadu the foundation of rational politics. So, what is the main thing which comes into play when you're doing a rational politics? Brahmanism. The states believe that Brahmanism is what prevented the evolution of another ideology or a rational ideology. So anti-Brahmanism is the underlining factor of the rational movement and the social equality movement. Which the social equality movement talks about the abolition of caste. But then caste has not been abolished in Tamil Nadu. In fact, the roots of caste and casteism have become more pronounced in the past 50 years. It has not given rise to the elimination of caste politics in Tamil Nadu. Why? Because anti-Brahmanism does appeal to some extent. But beyond that, unless you deliver, the political parties of Tamil Nadu cannot survive. Even though it is supposed to increase the scientific inquiry, even though it is supposed to make you think rationally and that for inclusiveness, you will find that Tamil Nadu politics is essentially caste. Even though they talk about abolition of caste, the caste lines are drawn very, very deeply, and caste is a part of every other aspect of life. So it is not possible to distinguish caste from even today, when there is an election, the votes are sought in the name of rationalism. In the name of rationalism and in the name of caste abolition. But in practice, you will find that all the political parties field the candidates from the same caste equation during the election. Most of them go by the winnability of the candidate, which is caste. Caste is a very important dominating factor in the politics as well as the culture of Tamil. Next one, please. So, honor killings is very common in Tamil Nadu. It is common in other parts of India also, but in Tamil Nadu, there are two places where they are very, very common. So, honor killings are done as a means of caste enforcement. It is what casteism in its most backward stages, honor killings. In fact, there is a request from a lot of NGOs now not to call them honor killings because there's nothing honorable about the killings. So we could say killings in the name of caste. Every now and then, where every now and then we hear of honor killings in Tamil Nadu. In fact, I have personally met members of the families where honor killings have taken place. Caste is so deeply ingrained that you can't think of an average. I'm talking about average families. This does not extend to the most educated, influential families, but an average family finds it very difficult to break the caste. If you die in the name of caste, if you die protecting caste, you are seen as a great statesman who has given his life up for the sake of it. That is, of course, a very troubling aspect of the Tamil Nadu culture. A lot of efforts are being made. In fact, honor killings have been made a separate aspect of law, but still caste discrimination has not gone away. It is very, very, very ironical because on the one hand, you find that the society and the polity is based on rationalism. And on the other, you find that everything that is done in the name to honor to solidify the caste equation in order to crystallize the caste equation. Whether you can challenge it, who can challenge it? Only the state can challenge it. Private individuals, to some extent, pressure groups and all do not. Pressure groups are made of the dominant who are able to succeed even in the presence of rational movements. So conservative norms, basically Tamil Nadu is a conservative society. So conservative norms exist and continue to exist in spite of deep-rooted traditional values. Next. Can we see the next? As I said, there are a lot of ironical situations in Tamil Nadu. One is, on the one hand, we swear by rational movement. On the other, we do everything it takes to keep the caste alive. And education versus Tamil Nadu is an educated electorate, but you don't find them giving much representation to women, as I said earlier. So they are underrepresented. Women are underrepresented in political offices and in leadership. What are the barriers to political inclusion? I have already said patriarchal norms, then socio-economic constraints. The economic independence of women is not complete here, and party politics, of course. As I said, all political parties are under pressure to field candidates who are winnable. They don't want to lose one. Even if a party wants to field X and the X does not belong to dominant caste, it will not, even if the candidate is good, it will not field that candidate because for them winnability is a very important aspect. And winnability, it can be ensured only if all the contesting persons are of the same. So there are, whenever you mention the constituents, the political parties will first think about which is the major caste or which is friendly to the major caste and field only those candidates who are favorable to the most dominant caste. So we feel once again that the representation of women will be complete and will increase and will be better once the Women's Reservation Act comes. Just like other parts of India believe that women's representation will increase with the coming of the law, we also believe that definitely women's representation will be better and it will be easier for women to take forward their agenda. The next one. While talking about culture of Tamil Nadu, we are instantly reminded of Carnatic music and Bharatanatyam. These two are there are other forms of art also. You have the folk arts, you have the other temple arts, everything. But basically, Bharatanatyam and Carnatic dominate the cultural spectrum of Tamil Nadu. So there is one very interesting aspect of Tamil Nadu's culture, which is the music season. Music season is generally it's done between December and January. That is when the programs take place. There are various sabhas. By sabhas, we mean various associations which are formed to promote classical dance and music. So all these sabhas, they draw up a program for 1 month of music and dance. And that period is known as the music season. You will find that no other major activity of either the government or private people take place at that time. Because these Bharatanatyam, that is known as the music season. About 35 to 40 days, each sabha or each group has a program of music and dance, and it is patronized by a lot of people in the state. We also have what is known as the other, that is, which is not strictly Bharatanatyam, Carnatic music, but other forms of art. They also put up shows during this season, but basically it is as if in Tamil Nadu, half December and half January are dedicated to the fine arts and folk. So throughout, there are people who come from throughout the world to be part of the music season. The music season can be either the Bharatanatyam system, the Bharatanatyam programs, or the Carnatic music programs. There's a wide patronage, and this patronage is not only from the people of Tamil Nadu, but even people who have settled down abroad. They come back for that 1 month in order to attend this cultural week or the music season. Now, this brings us to the next question. Temples. How important are the temples? Temples are important for everybody. But in Tamil Nadu, temple is a separate, it is seen as some kind of a separate world. That is, temple is not like generally going for your blessings and then coming back. It doesn't stop at that. Every temple has its annual festival, with people widely participating in this festival. The annual festival of music and dance on the one hand, the annual festival of all the temples on the other hand, they have therefore given patronage to those arts which are forming part of the temple. Bharatanatyam originated as a form of temple dance. Because Bharatanatyam was associated with temple and Bharatanatyam artists were associated with the temple priests or those who run the temple, Bharatanatyam was given patronage for a very long time, even after the coming of British. Even after the coming of British, Bharatanatyam was given a lot of patronage by the small, you could say, clan leaders or caste leaders, or even lawyers, eminent musicians. They all got patronage from the people because they belong to that temple tradition. Temples, even now, play an important part. There are many temples which have annual festivals. Along the Shivaratri, around the time of Shivaratri, a lot of Shiva temples have annual festivals of dance. They have dancers from many parts of South India coming to perform. So cultural is very closely associated with temple. Next one. So since the art is to do with temples, the architecture also is to do with temples. There is one big audience, there is one big consumer group of people who believe in promoting everything that is associated with the temple, including temple jewelry. Temple jewelry is a unique form of, in Banaras, you have what is known as the Gulabi Kari, Meena Kari. Similarly, temple jewelry is part of the South Indian culture. You have a lot of demand for temple jewelry, and there are places which specialize only in the making of temple jewelry. So jewelry, whatever was used for temples, are now used by artists during their Bharatanatyam performance. And the other one is what comes to your mind when we talk about Tamil Nadu? Tell me whatever comes to your mind. No? Anybody?
Love for Tamil, hate for Hindi.
The
Love for Tamil and hate for Hindi.
basically, whenever anyone talks about the Tamil Nadu culture, they talk about filter coffee, then temple jewelry, and silk sarees. Tamil Nadu without silk sarees cannot be imagined because Kanchipuram is a place which is completely dominated by the silk weaves. Kanchipuram and Kumbakonam. These two places from Tamil Nadu excel in the weaving of silk sarees, and their appeal has not come down at all. They are very popular. Any North Indian or any person from any other part of India, the East or the West, when they come to Tamil Nadu, they don't go back without buying Tamil Nadu silk. Because the lure of the silk saree is very, it is irresistible. Nobody can, say, okay, I don't want to buy a saree. What is there? You get it everywhere. As a everybody likes to have, as part of their collections, some beautiful Kanjivaram silk sarees. So, the culture, politics, and economy of Tamil Nadu are all overlapping each other. There is no, you can't strictly call it an economic life, a cultural life, or a political life. Politics derives a lot of influences from the culture. And culture does give politicians what they want. So even in the manifesto, I don't know how many of you remember, there was a movement called Jallikattu movement in Tamil Nadu. Does anyone remember that? Yeah, actually I can't hear you. Can be a little louder.
Jallikattu, that was a matter before Supreme Court also.
The employees sincerely learn Hindi. I don't know if they sincerely learn, they learn. That much is there. But that adjective, I'm not very sure. So, there was this Jallikattu movement. Jallikattu, do you know what Jallikattu is? It is the art, the sport of taming the bull. You have a group of people who are contestants, and you have a group of bull that are made to participate in these events. So it's basically bullfight. You don't fight, but you try to calm down the bull. You try to bring them to some kind of a standstill era. Like suppose you have a ferocious bull charging at you. You stop it and you're able to domesticate it. It is seen as one of the biggest acts of valor. So the court was against this sport and had actually talked about banning this. But there was a spontaneous movement of youngsters who all of them converged on the streets of Chennai. For about 3 days, entire Chennai was seen only with these people. Their demand was, you have to restore Jallikattu. Jallikattu is not just taming the bull, it is also a part of Tamil Nadu's culture. So the government or the political leadership has to go to the cultural aspirations of the people. So Jallikattu, even when the court said it needs to be banned, it wasn't banned, and Jallikattu is still a very popular and what should we say, popular and something to which people look forward. Immediately after Pongal, we have this Jallikattu for which equally people look forward to. There is a constituency for that game. It cannot be banned just. So this was one of the most important achievements of the ordinary average people of Tamil Nadu. They took on the power because they felt that their regionalism or their culture could not be compromised or could not be abolished in the name of scientific advice. We will use that sentence, but that, so not everything is scientific. Some things are also beyond science. Then can we go to the next one? Silambam. Similarly, Silambam is actually the traditional martial art of Tamil Nadu. One is Kalaripattu and the other is Silambam. Silambam means fighting with the wooden rods. They have huge wooden rods and you're trained in them, how to use the stick. They say that a person who has achieved the highest level of proficiency in Silambam can beat his lathi in such a way that even a bullet cannot pass. It is done that beautifully. That is what? That is an indigenous sporting culture of Tamil Nadu. Kalaripattu is more from, it comes from Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So we have to give Kerala its due also. What is Kalaripattu is again, it's a martial art. It's a martial art which many dancers also learn because of the agility of movements. That is why it is a bamboo stick which is used by one person against many. It has got various stages of sport, and one who has mastered that stage. There are very few people who have mastered that stage, but that is, it is believed that those who have mastered the stage are grand old men of the state. So, Kalaripattu, the Bharatanatyam dancers, they also learn Kalaripattu because of the flexibility of movements that it offers. That is why I told you there is no strict cultural or political or economic functions. Everything is intertwined and everything goes side by side. Then we have the Siddha medicine, which is also home to Tamil Nadu. It is an alternative stream of medicine. Not everyone believes in it, but yeah, it can be seen as an alternative form. As I already told you, folk rituals and folk practices, they are part of Tamil Nadu. See, for instance, Pongal. Pongal is, it comes along with the Sankranti of North India. It is around the time of, around the same time. So for Pongal, we have 5 days of Pongal. One is, of course, for Pongal. Then we have holidays for the Mata Pongal. Mata Pongal is the day. Madu means bull or any cattle is referred to as Madu. So for that we have Pongal, on which day you have Jallikattu also. So that also is a government holiday. So what we are trying to say is the cultural practices of Tamil Nadu have a very serious political overlap. They cannot be distinguished from. And folk rituals, like any other state, folk rituals form part of the culture of Tamil Nadu. Next one. I think we are done. Do we have any more? Yeah. So I'll wind up now. In the sense, I'll just, where does Tamil Nadu stand from economy point of view versus other states? I will answer that after I finish. I will answer your question. So to summarize what we have so far seen, Tamil Nadu is a two-party, even though it is a multi-party system, it's a two-party dominance. Cinema influences every aspect of life. Then we now have more than two parties coming to power, but we still don't have, say, a third party like the BJP or the Congress cannot succeed in Tamil Nadu unless it aligns with one of the major Dravidian parties. Inclusive policies, yes, like any other state. We also talk about inclusive policies. We also talk about how it is the need of the other. But whether they can be implemented in such a caste-ridden society, it's a million question. Then there are attempts at modernization, but it is not easy. I would say today, in the 22nd century or in the 21st century or the 20th century, like other modern societies, Tamil Nadu did not evolve. We are still a very conservative society with a lot of conservative values, political values, economic values, and I hope I have done some justice. It's a huge topic, the politics of Tamil Nadu and the politics of. Now I will take your question. The only thing is we are not able to hear you. Sundar and Nadu. 1 minute. Yeah.
आप सभी अपने क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं. प्लीज ask your questions if you have any.
Abhishek, please pin the ma'am. Mythili ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
There was a question which I just saw.
Yeah. Mythili, I have a question.
There was a question about where does Tamil Nadu's economy stand? Tamil Nadu is considered to be one of the many states which has a very good economic environment. And compared to a lot of states, Tamil Nadu is a progressive state in terms of economy. So, can you hear me? Can all of you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Now you can ask. That is the question I asked. Economically, Tamil Nadu stands very favorable in the scheme of things. Any other question?
Yes, Mythili, I have a question.
Yeah, a little louder, Jyotika.
मैं जो सवाल मेरा ये है कि आपने बताया कि महिलाओं का जो राजनीति में रिप्रेजेंटेशन है तमिलनाडु में वो कम है और आप ये सोच रही हैं कि जब हमारा ये महिला बंधन अधिनियम आएगा तो महिलाओं का रिप्रेजेंटेशन बढ़ने की बात आएगी.
Can you type it out?
I
can't hear anything. I don't know why the volume is
okay. Should I type it? Or you can listen.
I can listen.
So मैं अपनी बात पर आ रही हूँ पर इस तमिलनाडु की जो राजनीति में जयललिता का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण योगदान रहा और अभी आपने भी अपनी बात में बताया. तो इस डायलेमा को आप कैसे एड्रेस करती हैं कि महिलाओं को रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं मिलता और जयललिता किसी ऐसे परिवार से भी नहीं आती कि वैसा उनको मौका मिला. तो तमिलनाडु की जो जनता है वो जयललिता को कैसे मुख्यमंत्री के पद पर इतने लंबे समय तक वो मौका देती है?
जयललिता had a very good mentorship. She was mentored by M.G. Ramachandran, who was our previous chief minister. He mentored her and he molded her to be what she finally became. And moreover, she was the leader of the AIADM. So it was easy for her to take over the leadership of a Dravidian party. There was not too much of tensions between her values and the values of the Dravidian party. So she was able to make herself acceptable as a Dravidian party.
But her
generally, even when the proportion of women representing Indian women was small, Indira Gandhi was a very powerful prime minister. But just because Indira Gandhi was a powerful prime minister, we cannot say that women had a very good representation. So Jayalalitha's is an exceptional case where she had the background provided to her by one of the regional parties. After the death of MGR, she became a natural heir because she was seen as another leader who was able to uphold the Dravidian line. Some other question I just saw. Someone else had typed a question.
Ma'am, I have typed my question in the chat box.
Yeah.
Ma'am, please see the chat box. I have typed my question there.
Okay. Anybody else has any questions?
There is a question in the chat. Mythili, please check.
Is that?
Yeah.
It says recently actor Vijay Thalapathy has emerged as a politician. How far has he been able to create an impact in state politics?
Can we have the question again, please?
Recently, actor Vijay Thalapathy has emerged as a politician. How far has he been able to create an impact in state politics?
Can you type it out, or is it difficult?
Ma'am, the question has been typed in the chat box. I have that question.
You open your chat box.
Mostly for the, largely for the audio. I'm not able to hear him. I can understand Hindi, that's not a problem. But I'm not in a position to. If only, I don't know what's happened to the volume.
Can you read the chat box?
So what is the question?
Recently, actor Vijay
Yeah, I spoke about
Thalapathy.
Vijay, how far has he been able to create an impact? He has not created any impact. See, so many actors from time to time plunge into politics. But that doesn't mean all of them succeed. Karunanidhi, M.G. Ramachandran and Jayalalitha are exceptions. They came from the cinema fold, but they did not become leaders because they were actors. They only leveraged the popularity they had, which they got through their films. They leveraged it for the politics. But later on, they had to work a lot, work hard to stay in power. It was not easy. They also had to become astute politicians. They did not succeed only because they were from the films. That is, entry in films or your presence in films does not in any way guarantee your political success. About Vijay, he has made only one public appearance and he keeps making statements from every now and then he comes out with political statements. But whether he can become a third force in Tamil Nadu is very, very doubtful. We have to wait for the 2026 elections to determine how powerful he is or how much of effect he influences over the people. See, there are many actors who go and do propaganda for. Actors are also roped in for propaganda purposes. They go and canvass votes for other members. But there are many people who flock to see them. There's a lot of crowd, huge crowds coming to listen to them. But not always they translate into it. To become electorally successful, you have to have much more than being an actor. Influencing social causes. Whose role in social causes? There's one question. Remove spotlight. How is that done? Somebody has written something about social causes.
Swati, are you referring to Annamalai of BJP president of Tamil Nadu?
He is no longer the president.
He is no longer the president. He has been asked to resign.
So what you're asking me, what is the possible
But
effect?
he has been asked, BJP asked him to resign so that they can collaborate with AIDMK again.
Yes,
Okay.
he has.
No, I wanted to ask, like, because of the, language barrier, whatever happens in the Hindi area was kind of, kept away from the regional, that region. Will Annamalai or anybody, bridge this gap and there'll be, Tamil Nadu will also be in mainstream politics, like seen in Delhi in power positions.
Tamil Nadu had been in power, sharing power at Delhi.
So far, no party other than the Dravidian party has come to power. It is a coalition led by a Dravidian party, or it is a Dravidian party by itself, which becomes the dominant factor. Now, for BJP to break the ice, it has to be seen whether it will be done. Now that you have another BJP chief, but of course, Annamalai was a very effective leader, no doubt about that. So, at the most, you can say It is work in progress.
Okay.
Any power, any
Yeah.
political party, which is
Yeah.
not a Dravidian party, but which wants to make an impact, must do so by becoming a part of the alliance, or it has to wait for some more time. For the time being, I don't see any revolutionizing,
Okay.
Result.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
A
they
third
can
power
do well,
actually
provided
reaching
they
it. Okay.
form an alliance with that is why AIADMK and DMK are sought
Uh-huh.
after like anything before they reach.
Okay.
They are the bigger partners in the regional alliance and will lead the alliance. I'm not saying coalitions will not win, but coalitions will have to be part of Dravidian parties too.
Dravidian parties, right. Right. Yeah. Thank you.
But Annamalai was doing a good job. He was quite popular, but I think there was a lot of infighting in BJP like other parties also, which is why he seems to have been taken away, because he said something about Jayalalitha in one of his speeches.
Yes,
Edapadi
there
was
was an
very-
opposition from AIDMK that Annamalai should be sacked if BJP wants an alliance with the AIDMK.
Perhaps, yeah, that
They
might be
can
the
see
cause.
them.
That was the reason.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
अच्छा मैथिली एक और सवाल मैं मतलब तमिलनाडु के टेम्पल्स को लेके मेरे ध्यान में आ रहा है कि एज यू सेड और वी ऑल नो दैट दिस द्रविडियन कल्चर इज एंटी ब्राह्मणिज्म बट वी ऑल हम ये भी देखते हैं कि तमिलनाडु में बहुत से मंदिर हैं और बहुत पॉपुलर और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट मंदिर हैं तो जो हम नॉर्थ में देखते हैं कि मंदिर सीधा ब्राह्मण से जुड़ा हुआ है मंदिर और अगर तमिलनाडु में द्रविड़ एंटी ब्राह्मणिज्म है और मंदिर इन सबको आप कैसे देखती हैं?
See, the two parties are based on the ideology of Dravidian socialism. But whether they are true to it, we cannot say. Jayalalitha, for that matter, was a very religious person. She believed in religion, she believed in religious practices, but she continued to be the leader of a Dravidian party. So, Dravidian party has now diluted its rational, even though they pay lip service to the rational thinking and to inclusive thoughts and all. Basically, they are as communal and as casteist like any other. And as far as this temple question is concerned, there are moves to bring people of other castes on a par with the Brahmins. We've had the courses done by the priests. Anybody can do this course, and they are given a gainful employment in the temples. Even in temples, they can go as cooks or they can go as purohits or whatever. But the irony of Tamil Nadu is, while on the one hand, they talk against Brahminism, on the other hand, they do not feel that they can survive. You need somebody to punch you. So the Brahminism takes the blame for everything. Actually, it is quite, I wouldn't say it is very relevant now, because Brahmins have been displaced from almost all the fields, especially the government fields. They have been taken, you will find nil participation of Brahmins in many things. But still, Brahmins dominate as far as the temples and as far as the rituals are concerned. It may be an irony, but then that's how it is. Anti-Brahminism is an irony in Tamil.
Abhishek,
Anybody else?
So I think we can conclude now as we don't
Yeah.
have any questions. So thank you, ma'am, for providing your valuable insight and answering each and every questions asked by the
Can you
participants.
type it out? I can't hear you at all.
And ma'am, just saying thank you for your valuable insight about
me.
today's topic. And now I'd like to request all the participants on their cameras. आप सभी अपने cameras को open कर लीजिए ताकि हम साथ में एक picture ले सकें.
Abhishek,
purpose से.
I would also address after your camera.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, sure. Please अपने cameras open कर लीजिए. Be quick. So thank you. Now I'd like to move towards our president for paid initial remarks of this session, who is Supreme Court lawyer by profession and former member of National Commission and the president of Such and Society. Over to you, ma'am, please.
So thank you very much, Mythili. Even if you are not able to listen, but ये जो आज का हमारा कार्यक्रम है, हम इसको रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हैं और YouTube पे पोस्ट कर देंगे, तो YouTube पे आप सुन लेना। आपकी पूरी बातचीत बहुत प्रभावशाली थी। तमिलनाडु के बारे में बहुत अच्छा सुनने को लगा और ऐसा लग रहा था कि जैसे खुद हम तमिलनाडु में हैं, वहाँ का कल्चर, वहाँ का धर्म, वहाँ के कपड़े, वहाँ की कॉफी, वहाँ का खाना, डोसा, इडली, तो वो सब एकदम वैसा आपने एक माहौल बना दिया कि जैसे हम सब तमिलनाडु में ही है। और ये जो हमारा राष्ट्र सक्षम रोजगार सोसाइटी है, उसका ये एक प्रयास रहता है कि हम नॉलेज, पिछला जो हमारा प्रोग्राम था उसका हमने नाम दिया था लर्निंग नेवर एंड्स, और हमारा टोटली नॉलेज बेस्ड एक्सरसाइज है कि हम जो काम भी करें उसमें हम नया सीखें। तो हमें उसमें लगा था ये हमारा सीजन 2 है कि जब हम सीखने की बात करते हैं तो अपने देश के बारे में क्यों ना जाने, अपने देश के एक एक राज्य के बारे में और अपने मित्रों से जाने। तो वहाँ उस राइट, वहाँ तमिलनाडु में जिनका जन्म हुआ, जो पले बड़े, जो वहाँ रहते हैं, जो वहाँ की तमिलनाडु को तमिलनाडु की आंखों से देखते हैं, मतलब कोई बाहर वाला तमिलनाडु को कैसे देखता है, और जो व्यक्ति तमिलनाडु में रहा, पला बड़ा, तमिलनाडु में उसकी शादी हुई, वहां उसके मायका ससुराल रिश्तेदार, तो वो तमिलनाडु को कैसे देखते हैं। हमारा एक प्रयास रहता है कि हम साथ ज्वाइन कर सकें। और मैं बहुत बहुत, क्योंकि आज मैथिली आ रही थी हमारे शो पर और बहुत सारे वो जानकार जो जानते हैं मैथिली सुंदर को और उनके इतने प्रभावशाली व्यक्तित्व को, तो मैंने हम सबके साथ अपना ये शेयर किया था। ऑल्दो अभी बिल्कुल 9 बजने में 10-5 मिनट पर शेयर किया, फिर भी मैं थैंक्स करना चाहूंगी जो सबने ज्वाइन किया। रागिनी जी ने ज्वाइन किया, रश्मि जी ने ज्वाइन किया, स्वाति बेटकर ने ज्वाइन किया, और रेहाना मैडम ने ज्वाइन किया, और ज्वाइन किया, सुमन जी ने ज्वाइन किया, उमा शंकरी जी ने ज्वाइन किया, और मतलब बाकी सबने तो ज्वाइन किया, पर ये सभी लोग मुझे लगता है सिर्फ और सिर्फ मैथिली सुंदर को सुनने के लिए आज हमारे साथ जुड़े। तो मतलब हमारी आपके हमारे मंच पर आने पर और आपके द्वारा तमिलनाडु के बारे में बातचीत करने से हमें एक नया ऑडियंस मिला जिनको हम प्रस्तुत कर पाए कि हमारी संस्था किस प्रकार से काम करती है। आप सबका धन्यवाद, और आप सभी मित्रों का जिनका मैंने नाम लिया उनका तो धन्यवाद, पर आप सबके अलावा जो हमारे सक्षम रोजगार सोसाइटी के वॉलंटियर्स हैं, जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, जो हमारे एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी के मेंबर्स हैं, उन सब ने भी रात के 10 बजे एक महत्वपूर्ण विषय, अपने देश के एक राज्य के बारे में हम सुन रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है इससे बेहतर कुछ हो नहीं सकता। वीकेंड पे हम ऐसी काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत अच्छा लगा। तो अभिषेक, ओवर टू यू।
So thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable remarks. Now I'd like to request Mamta Shrestha ji for a word of thanks.
Thank you, Abhishek. Good evening, all of you. On behalf of Saksham Rozgar Society, I, Mamta, extend my heartful gratitude to all of you. We sincerely thank Mr. Mythili Sundar ma'am for sharing her valuable insight on the topic of social and political aspect of Tamil Nadu. To our participants, thank you for your enthusiasm and active participations, because your engagement made the session truly meaningful. And we look forward to seeing the same spirit in our future programs also.
Thank you.
A special thanks to Miss Jyotika Kalra, President of Saksham Rozgar Society, for taking the initiative to launch the Bharat Ek Khoj series and for their dedication to enhancing the quality of this session. With that, I wish you all of you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
So thank you, Mamta, for word of thanks, and thank you each and every participant for joining us today. And see you on the next Saturday with a new state. And
और अगली बार हमारा अगला शनिवार जो हमारा स्टेट है वो है मेघालय, और मेघालय को भी एडवोकेट अनुराधा पॉल मेघालय शिलोंग से ही हमको एड्रेस करेंगी। वो मेघालय के रहने वाली है। अगर आप लोगों का इंटरेस्ट हो तो मैं आपको फिर से शेयर कर दूंगी लिंक, और मैं आपसे अनुरोध करूंगी कि अगले शनिवार यही रात के 9 बजे हम मेघालय के बारे में जानेंगे। थैंक यू। Thank you.
Thank you. So now to request all the participants to leave the session as we are closing. And till then, good night, all of you.